Hello from me, Lazarus. Welcome to the next lesson in the series on AI, artificial intelligence. In the previous two lessons, we looked at the popular chat models in action, GPT and Copilot, as I call it. You got it, right? I know it's pronounced Copilot, but that's what I call him, Copilot. I call Gemini, although in English it is read Gemini, which is incorrect, because the word is Latin, but that is another topic. That's it. And now, so what's the idea here in a nutshell? The idea is to find a free program, and with which to archive Windows 11, to make a complete archive of the operating system. And for that purpose, I do something like a study, 2-in-1. I test the popular AI models, artificial intelligence, chatbots. And at the same time I'm looking for such a program, which I will use for myself too. Of course you will use for yourself. We will do this in the last video of the lesson on free programs. So now, and in the past, this is how we proceeded. We asked the same questions to all the chatbots and see what they answer. And finally, we'll summarize and analyze what they gave us. We'll continue with Google Gemini. So, let me just zoom in a little bit here, so you can see the questions better. Right. Here's what I'm copying over to him now. Hello, first, a few rules for you. You answer the questions in essence and translate into English. Because I'm not going to make a separate video for my English-speaking subscribers. So, I'll speak first in Bulgarian, then in English. And everything I say will be translated. So, in short, what did I tell him? To translate immediately. To give an answer first in Bulgarian, then in English. I'll continue with the next one. I'm going to start with 3 questions at once, because they are interrelated. Tell me a little about yourself. What kind of model are you? What kind of tasks can you perform? Explain briefly and essentially how it is to work with you. I read it from here because I saw that something can't be here. At this magnification, I see the question. After. Here he translates them into English. Here is what he says: I am a model Gemini 3 Flash. Ah, Flash. Why Flash? We were supposed to be working with Gemini Pro here. But something isn't right here. Okay, Flash be it. Now we won't get so carried away. Wait, then I'll ask him. I'll tell him that I want to talk to about the model. And look what it tells me, that in order to use Gemini Pro I need a paid subscription. Okay, there is also another option, Google AI Studio, but I'll probably cover that in a separate tutorial. Right. So we're going to work with what we have. Right. Here's what I'm going to ask him next. I'm doing a study on the question, what free programs are best to make an archive, or backup, of my entire operating system, Windows 11. I'm copying it for him. He's really thinking about something here. That's it. Here's what it says in Bulgarian. Here's the English translation. To create a full system image. Windows 11 system image, which allows full disaster recovery. The best free options as of 2026 are, here's a new moment. A new program that the previous two didn't include. Hasleo Backup Suite free. To be honest, I've never heard of this one. Interesting. There are options like for the paid ones. We said we wouldn't deal with this one because it's corporate for powerful systems and extremely difficult to download. So, this third one, Resquazilla and Clonazilla. Interesting. So this is actually a variant, Clonazilla GUI. The people above didn't tell me. I've worked with Clonazilla, I've only backed up with it experimentally, but it worked. That's it. And here's mine, which I worked with for many years, Paragon, this German company. A very well-run company with great programs. The point is that with Windows 11, they only switched to paid versions. No, they were basically just paid, but they had released a simple program just for backup. And I downloaded it from that site that I mentioned there, where I gave it in the first video. Every day they publish one paid program with a free one for a year and some restrictions. So, here's what he said. Macrium Reflect mentions it, but it's not supported. He recommends this one instead. Okay. Here's the answer in English. You might want to take a look at it. So, he's offering me here to prepare a guide. But we're not going to get into a movie, he's going to dictate to us what to do? Because that's how you get into a drama, endlessly. Right. So what am I asking him now? The built-in backup system of the entire Windows operating system 11, how reliable is it and can it be reliable for modern computers with this type of drive? Here is the translation of the question into English. Here is the answer in Bulgarian. The built-in tool is not recommended. It's called Backup and Restore for Windows 7. And the very fact that it has Windows 7 in its name suggests that the technology is outdated. Yes, that's what others said. I don't know why Microsoft didn't make a proper tool for such archives. But apparently that's the policy. They could have at least done it, even if it was paid for. Anyway, I'm not going to give them advice. So, here it says all the problems about her. Here's the answer in English. Here there is basically unanimity between the three chatbots. And now he's offering me various options again, but we're not going to get tied down to him. Here's what we're asking him now. Tell him, in your opinion, which program is more suitable for our case? The most appropriate is. That is, here is the translation of the question in English, and he still holds his ground. Here he is more consistent than the GPT chat, which went off, right. One was suggested at the beginning, then another. I need to read a little more about this program. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll analyze it later. Here's his answer in English. right? We'll ask him that question later, but that'll be in a later video, possibly when we're working only with the program. Now I'm going to ask him which program is better suited for Windows 7. For those of you, like me, who have computers with Windows 7, and are still using them, this is it, or else, I'll say it again. This is the best operating system that Microsoft has ever made. And what comes next is much worse than that, but that's another topic. What's he saying? For Windows 7 the situation is different, since the operating system is outdated. And many modern tools are stopping their support. Well, it still gives the same. No, look here, in second place he gave this one, which the other two gave. So. And again the built-in tool. And he here recommends it. Interesting, because he thinks it would work well here. I'm not convinced of that statement, but anyway. Here's his explanation in English. He's still making suggestions here. And there are two more questions left to ask him. The first is, tell me what are the dangerous and risky moments in the process of a complete backup of the operating system, and what can we do to avoid them? I'm copying it. That's it. Translates the question. Answer. Now it says, hidden risks, data corruption, lack of rescue media, backing up to the same physical drive, capacity mismatch. Yes. Of course. If we try on a smaller drive than ours. So that in principle the archives should be in zip format, so to speak, in the sense that they are not exactly in their real size, but with compression. But so. Here's what it says in English. Here, it seems to have a little less risk than the others. So. In the last one, that is, this is no longer a question, the last thing we're going to have him do is write final recommendations and recommendations on the subject. Here's what he says. To ensure maximum peace of mind and security, follow these steps. Apply the 3-2-1 rule. Store at least 3 copies of your data on 2 different media, one of which is on an external drive. It's solid. Test the recovery, automate, but control it. Weekly incremental backup. It's a pretty big toy, really. For your own backups, you'll have a hard time starting to do this. I absolutely agree with doing this in archive before major changes, and keeping the flash drive up to date. Okay. Here it is in English. Yes, less here. That's all for this lesson. Best regards.